can't believe it's already time for me to make this video, but I want to show you my top 5 ads of this Q2 2024. So with that being said, if you're new to the channel, you don't yet know who I am. My name is Justin and I'm the founder at bitadvertising.com, an online marketing growth firm, profitably spending over $9.6 million on ads every single year, having worked with over 160 clients now. And let's get into the first ad. So this ad is actually for an info product client of ours. We started working with them in April. So actually now we're wrapping up our first quarter of working with this said brand. And this is an ad that crushed it for their webinar funnel. So with this client, what we do is we generate leads and it's not on Facebook. So it's not instant form leads. We actually generate leads on their landing page. So we send traffic to their landing page. They have a super solid opt-in rate sitting at about 20% on the landing page. So very healthy, all things considered, when you look at the industry average, which we usually will aim to be at 15 to 20% opt-in rate on the landing page, which if we can get that on the landing page, we know that now the only quote unquote pressure is going to be on the ads to deliver. And we have with this one, ad number 9 that we launched for this client. So in the month of June, actually, this is a new ad that we launched in June. It spent $7,000 on this ad and got us a cost per lead of about $7.49 right here. If I start playing this ad in the back, it's actually more so of a problem aware ad. It's a marketing funnel, or how can I say it? It's basically the funnel is aimed to sell to landscapers on how they could better their business. So it's like a biz op offer, right? It's the opportunity being landscaping. So we teach them essentially through the webinar how they can scale their business. So the main desire of this ad is I want to scale my landscaping business. And the second thing that we essentially do with the said ad is, or the second thing at least I want to talk about is more the positioning, which again, it's a problem or ad because we're starting by calling out like, how can I start closing big jobs? And we're like, hey, look, are you not closing big jobs right now? You want to keep scaling your landscaping business, and then getting into the video in itself about how they actually can. So we're introducing a new solution. So really calling out the problem, introducing a solution. So that's it for our first ad that we had crushed it for our info client. Now the second ad that we have right here is for a new collection from our client. Now, why do I think this ad is working? I think it's working for 2 reasons. Number one, this client is great at spotting trends and really capitalizing on those trends and jumping on the bandwagon. What is this trend about? It's the upside down collection that they just launched, which actually comes from Post Malone. So if you've seen Post Malone online, he's wearing a couple of times like a hat with like an upside down like city code and stuff. And this was right up our client's alley based on the current machinery and just the current like production capacity they had. So our client was smart, just created kind of this new collection and offer, which we were able to capitalize on the ads front. And now we're starting to integrate a lot more of the founder in the videos. So prior to that, usually we use a lot of like statics and motion graphic ad, and carousel ads are also working amazing on that account, given how, when I say carousel, sorry, I meant to say catalog ads usually work great on that account. Now catalog ads actually have, for the first time in months on this account, I'd even dare to say years, have been outperformed by another style of ad, which is video ads from the founder itself. So a founder-based video, so putting them at the forefront, kind of personifying the brand, talking about how this is like an American-made business. It's based out of Nashville, and it's a very kind of product-aware style of advertising right here, because all we're doing is we're showing them like how to buy, how to customize their products, and kind of social proof around it, and just creating essentially how this is, again, an American-based business and kind of shopping low with that said. So great ad for this client for this last quarter. Now moving on to this next ad right here, which I'm going to put on mute and start playing. This is actually for one of our newest clients in the agency, another pretty big info/agency clients that we just started working with this quarter. What's working great? Animation ads. And that's quite interesting. Those animation ads seem to be outperforming most sit down kind of talking head scripted videos. So I've actually started using a lot of these animations myself on Instagram. If you've checked out my profile, so you create through AI a voiceover of like your voice once again. So basically my team is cloning my voice through various of these YouTube videos and is able to create some of these animations, which my voice is in the back. So it's an AI based voiceover. And for that client, it's been absolutely smashing it. It's definitely getting us the lowest cost per lead. That's another info product client once again. And what we're optimizing for is just like the first ad I showed you about in the start of the video, we're actually optimizing for leads to generate for a webinar. So we're optimizing for 2 things. Number one, we generate generate leads for a webinar, instead of sending them to the landing page like we do for the other client I showed you at the start, we're actually doing an instant form right here. We split tested landing page versus instant form, and here's what we're seeing for that client. So at scale with very high budgets, we're talking right now, we're spending about 2 to 3K a day. Currently, we are getting a much lower cost per lead with our instant form than the landing page by quite a lot. In fact, we're getting $9 to $10 cost per lead with instant forms, where we're getting about $50 cost per lead for the same budget if we're spending on sending people to the landing page. If we actually lower the budget, we realize that for some reason, again, using the exact same ads, our CPMs are more than twice as high when we send people to the landing page when we do an instant form. So we're still keeping the landing page just at a lower budget because it's actually getting us decent cost, like similar cost at a much lower budget. So for some reason, we're just able to scale much faster with these instant form ads. But interesting, once again, we're getting a much higher cost per lead, but a slightly lower cost per purchase are when we're sending people straight to the landing page versus to do the instant form. Because the funnel here is we're getting a lead and then we actually have them pay for a low ticket product. So that being said, we're like right now just balancing these two funnels, seeing like which one work best. But going from an ad perspective right now, you could see that these animation style of ads are just crushing it. Now moving on to this wild client that I also presented in my previous rundown in Q1. We also had a pretty good ad with these guys, DCT109 for that client, which is one of our newer ads if you want that we've made. 2.76 ROAS, 2.6K in ad spend in the previous or in this last quarter, 6.8% conversion rate. So from landing page views to purchases, and you can see it on the screen right now. I mean, I can keep playing it right here, but again, wild in terms of angles. Obviously, when it comes to selling sex-based products on Facebook, you got to be careful about what you say. So here, using fruits to do so, just get the point across if you want, shows the analogy is still just as wild and allows us to get really good results without having those ads being banned. And last but not least, this is actually an ad for one of our surfing center clients. So they own a surfing center out here in Quebec, Canada, where people can kind of go to and just surf indoors. We started working with them also in this Q2. So that said, it was like a first quarter for this new business of ours. And we did pretty good so far because this client never advertised on Facebook. And it's a mix between an e-com and a local business because we're actually selling time slots online. So people have to go to the website, they have to buy like for the activity, and they have to then book a time for which they want to come in store to do the activity. So it's an online transaction, but it's a physical activity, if that makes sense. So there's no product, but it's been doing pretty good. You can see it's in French, so slightly different ad right here. But this one actually is, we're literally just talking about like try surfing with our Tuesday 2-for-1 promo. And it's funny because we also have like DCT number 2, which you can kind of see maybe in the shadow right here, which had a little bit less spend, a pretty decent ROAS nonetheless, which if I do bring up, it's funny because we now had a flip in performances. So DCT2 used to be performing better than DCT3. Now DCT3 started performing better than DCT2, and here's why. Because the start or the hook of this video is discover indoor surfing inside of Montreal, right? And that again was like a brand new activity. Nobody really was aware of that in the audience. So that ad just crushed it because it was again higher in awareness, right? Or lower, I should say, in awareness. It was more for people to discover a new activity. Whereas our DCT number 3 is try indoor surfing. So we kind of assume they already somewhat know about indoor surfing. The positioning is much more product aware at this point. So solution aware versus kind of product aware, if you want, in that sense. So it was interesting to see the flip in performance of these ads in the previous like month and a half or so. But all things considered, these two ads just really crushed it. Why? I think we just showed how the activity works. We showed like various people kind of having fun with it. We're talking about how this is done like in a safe environment. This is good for like all ages. So we're making this kind of appealing for, again, just family fun, friends fun. So it appeals to kind of two different personas. And right now we're starting to slowly like segregate just more personas with this, which some again might be for younger crowds, some for older crowds. And it'll also be interesting because the promo that we ran or the offer that we ran right now is soon expiring for new kind of summer related offers. So we're going to have to probably stop these ads anyways now and either iterate on them with a new promo or just come across with a whole new or just come out with a whole new concept at this point. What's actually also really nice with this client is that they've invited myself and our client services director, the agency, to come and try out their surfing center, which we did. And we actually got clips from that visit, which the client didn't ask. We just, took a bunch of shots and now started like slowly dropping them into our ads as like B-roll, which comes from us, which again is just nice because we've been able to experience the quote unquote products ourselves. So what's a trend I'm noticing right now? Pretty much all of our accounts, if I look at most of our accounts, which we have a lot more at the agency, a lot of our best ads this quarter were videos. So interesting. I mean, all of those are in various industries. I just showed you fashion. I showed you like a biz op offer. I showed you an offer more for agencies. I showed you a surfing center. I showed you like a sex product. So all different industries, all using videos, they're all working, all on Meta. So hey, is this just a revival of videos? I don't know, but videos seem to have really worked great for us as a creative type this Q2 of 2024. If you made it all the way through this video and you are an e-commerce brand owner or an info product business owner and you want to work with a paid ads partner on Meta, Google, and or TikTok, check out the description and click the link down below to book in a call with our team at paidadvertising.com. And on that note, I'm going to wish you an amazing day. Check out other videos on the channel for some more useful marketing tips, and I'll see you at the next one. Peace.